right, good morning, good morning. What's up to everybody in the grounds crew? What's up to everybody on YouTube, everybody on TikTok? Thanks for hanging with me. It was just pouring rain here in New York a second ago. Now it's sunny, so go figure. Local team rained out last night. So ended up watching some baseball late last night while doing some stuff on my computer. Watched the Yankees and the White Sox, watched the Red Sox and the A's. You know, I've really been getting locked in on the Red Sox games anytime that Mike Monaco's on, because that's my guy now, and we're doing 2 more games next week, so love listening to his calls. Anyway, I hope everybody's great. Really hanging with you guys. A lot of afternoon games today. All right, so we better get cracking then. We better get cracking. What's up, Victoria? Oh, we got more negative stuff to remember. Just rewatched your game against the Jays the other day. Yeah, big pause on that one, my guy. But I did throw him a 3-1 heater right down the middle with 0 competitive pitches before that. So not great. Morning, pops. All right, let's see what we got going on here today. Let's kick it on over. See what we want to talk about on this Wednesday. I think I'm going to not do a stream tomorrow, or if I do, I'll move the time, because I got some things I need to take care of in real life, and I need to actually go some places. So, we'll see about tomorrow. But anyway, tomorrow doesn't matter. Today's all that matters. So let's go in, and thanks for everybody hanging with me today. All right, Wednesday, July 29th. Here are your standings. In the American League East, Tampa Bay, 1.5 up on the Yankees. They lost last night. Yankees won, so that got a little closer. Red Sox lost. It was only their 4th loss, and I want to say like their last, something crazy, like 28 games, something like that. But they did get edged out by the Sacramento Athletics. Gage Jump threw a pretty good game in that one. Anyway, watch that. Orioles lose. They got absolutely stamped by the Tigers yesterday. And the Blue Jays, Shane Bieber did not pitch well in what they're probably hoping to trade him. AL Central, White Sox, 1.5 up. They've lost to the Yankees again. Cleveland's 3-7 in their last 10. Minnesota has now announced that they are buying, which I think is interesting. So goodbye Jeffers, goodbye Joe Ryan from the trade block, allegedly. We'll see. But Minnesota thinks they're in it at 54-54, 2 out of the division, half game out of the wild card, with a negative 26 run differential and a dumpster fire pitching staff, especially the bullpen. But, you know, they believe in it, so we're going to see them go for it. Detroit is going to be interesting because they have the Skubal piece, and it's like, kind of have to trade him, but at the same time, will they be able to resist the temptation? Only 5 games back, 3.5 back in the wild card. We'll see how they play in these next couple days as we head up to the deadline. Rangers, 2 up over the Astros, 2.5 on the Mariners. So the Mariners are now in 3rd. Mariners are now in 3rd place. I don't know what to make of that. A's, they're out of it. Angels, they're out of it. NL East, Braves now 6-game lead. Phillies have not played well out of the break. They were really hot before. Now they're cold again. Waiting for them to turn the tide. It seems like if Luzardo, Wheeler, I saw the stat yesterday. If like Luzardo, Wheeler, or Sanchez don't pitch, they do not win. So that's not great. Washington, all at 500. Will they trade pieces? Will they not? It's going to be interesting. Marlins, same deal. And then we know the Mets are about to sell. Brewers 6 up on the Cubs. Both teams won. Pirates lost. Cardinals now drop under 500 for the first time in a long time, as the Cubs are taking care of them pretty good in that series. Reds are see you later. Dodgers lose their 2nd in a row. They lost to Seattle last night. I want to say that was a pretty entertaining game. I saw a lot of action in the Discord about that. Diamondbacks are definitely going for it here. I would say it's really going to be probably between them and the Pirates for the last wild card spot. Let's check the wild cards. We'll do the National League first because I just mentioned that. Yeah, Diamondbacks, Pirates. Then you got the Nats, Padres, Marlins, Cardinals, who I'm not sure if any of those teams are really going to buy and improve themselves. So we'll see how that kind of plays itself out. But I do think Diamondbacks and Pirates is going to be maybe the top two contenders. I'm curious what other people might think about that. Am I selling Washington, San Diego, Miami, Cardinals? Am I selling those teams short? American League wild card. This is why the Twins, the Twins think they're better than the Guardians, I guess. They're right there tied up. Two very different types of teams. You look at runs scored versus runs allowed here. Cleveland's scored way less runs, but also allowed way less runs. So the Twins play more high-scoring games, just different style. And then usually Houston does go for it. And then, it's just like, Seattle, come on. Waiting for you. Somebody's got to step forward. But, being 500 is a good thing in the American League right now, which is kind of crazy to say. All right, coffee cups from last night. Here we go. Eduardo Valencia of the Tigers and their beatdown of the Orioles, 4 for 5 with 2 pumps. Dominic Canzone, 2 for 4 with 2 home runs. Gleyber Torres, 2 for 5 RBI game with a home run. Shohei had a home run last night and 3 hits. That might be worth watching. Sal Stewart, 2 for 3 with a dinger. Yordan hit another dinger. We have a 5-hit day from Tatis. That might be worth watching. 4-hit day from McGonigal. Tommy Tanks, 4 for 4. Tommy singles, baby. Pitchers, Gavin Williams, 7 innings, 12 Ks. We didn't watch him last week, but now he's kind of demanding my attention. Sandy Alcantara, will he be traded? Will he stay? Pitches a great game against the Phillies. Troy Melton continues to impress. Gerrit Cole was pitching all pissed off last night. Gage Jump with his weird-ass arm action shoved against the Sox. So some really good pitching performances to choose from today. Brandon Pfaadt, he's really turned it around as of late. Detmers, is he on the move? Man, a lot of interesting outings yesterday. Let me see WPAs for pitchers if there's any sick relief work. Gerardo Carrillo, 2 innings, 3 Ks. In leverage for Arizona. Okay. Prospects. Prospect hitters. Ralphie Velasquez, Felnin Celestin, and Sebastian Walcott. All homered with 2-hit days. Pitchers. Hagen Smith, 1 inning. So are they getting him ready for a possible relief role in AAA for the White Sox? I could see that being a thing. I could definitely see that being a thing. All right. Let me get back in here to the chat. See what's up with everybody as we're getting started today. So we checked out Wheeler's poor outing the other day. Velocity was way down. Execution still seemed to be good. Just if the Phillies say he's fine, he's probably fine. But yeah, the velo was a little weird and it never really improved. He was out there throwing 92, not really 92, 93, not really Zach Wheeler-esque. Who's the best pitcher you got to play with that you learned the most from? So I've played with tons of Hall of Fame or borderline Hall of Fame pitchers, which is crazy. CC, Tanaka, Gerrit Cole, Chris Sale, Verlander, Scherzer, DeGrom, Evaldi, Wainwright, Carpenter. That's a pretty crazy list. And then you throw in like a Jorge De La Rosa or some great relief pitchers I played with, Greg Holland, Wade Davis, Britton, Chapman, you name it. There are some really good names. So that's a tough question. Learn the most from? Well, I learned the most from all of them, but honestly, probably Chris Carpenter, Adam Wainwright, just because I was young and I had the most to learn still. And even though it didn't translate in St. Louis, I was watching and I would learn some shit from them that would pay off down the road. What else we got here? Never fails that the teams on the fence at the deadline end up facing and beating the worst teams ever. I know, and then that kind of convinces them to get going. So the trades have already semi-begun with that initial trade, which is crazy that immediately Curtis Mead fractured wrist. Yesterday on the stream, it was reported by somebody in the chat from a tweet that X-rays were negative, but now he has a broken wrist. So the Red Sox acquire him, broken wrist. we'll see what's next. Thoughts on Drew Rasmussen? I think he's a legit ace. I really do. I think they have two of them with McClanahan, although he's still an ace, but he just hasn't pitched a lot until getting back until this year. But I think they could be a surprise team if School gets traded. Tampa Bay, they go for it a little bit. They know they're not going to get these guys on the free agent market. So sometimes, you think about it, weak American League. If they believe in their club, this could be the year. It'd be, there'll be pain involved, but it could be the year. All right, what else we got here? I've talked about this a few times, Peyton. I do not believe Lindor will be traded. I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense. Why would the Nationals trade Wood and CJ? They're not going to trade Wood. I don't think they would trade CJ either, but I think it's possible. It's possible. He's at a really high level. He can't play shortstop anymore. So if you can get like something premium out of him right now and it makes sense for you, then great. But if not, the guy's raking. So how far do you think the Tigers can go if they keep Skubal? I don't think they make it far in the playoffs. Well, I will say playoff-wise, they're an interesting team to match up with because you can go Skubal. I know Framber hasn't pitched well of late, but Framber, Mize, and Melton, that's actually pretty good firepower in the rotation with some know-how in the lineup since they've been to the postseason a bunch. You would think they would have a puncher shot to get to the ALCS, and then you never know. So Taboni says the Nats will look to add. I think it'll be measured adding, but we'll see. But this is really a seller's market. Somebody's going to piss off their fan base, but take advantage of the seller's market, I would guess. Why do you think it always seems like Cole's liable to give up at least one home run? Well, I think there's a couple reasons for this. I think his stuff in general skews a little bit more fly ball than ground ball. Particularly his four-seam fastball and his slider when he leaves it in the zone. As the game goes on, he tends to not finish his breaking pitches as well when he's a little tired as he works back into his workload right now and gets his feet back under him. So that's what we've seen a little bit. Didn't finish that slider to Muncy. Lost a little potency at the back end of his Pirates start, couple home runs. But that's it's also just a product that he's always in the strike zone. So if you're always in the strike zone, guys have a trust that you're going to be in the strike zone. They're going to get their swings off. But this style of pitching has not hurt him in his career, so I don't expect him to change that. It would be a trade-off to try to change that. Put yourselves in a GM seat. Do you trade for Arise or Otto Lopez as both are available? Depending on my team, yeah. Especially Otto Lopez. He's a little bit more dynamic, I think, and younger and interesting. But Arise has had a really solid year, and in the right team, he could make a lot of sense. A team that doesn't have a contact presence, batting average type of presence in their lineup. Should the Drays consider trading Louis Varland if Miller isn't really on the market? I don't think so, because I don't think this Jays team is. It's not like they're going to be out of it next year. I don't know. I wouldn't be in a rush to trade him. He seems like a great fit there. I can totally see Milwaukee or Tampa getting Skubal. It's just a matter of will those teams make the move. Milwaukee's not really known to do that. Tampa's at least. Rob Bradford pointed this out yesterday. I was on his pod talking, and he pointed out that they did try to trade for Ohtani. They tried to offer Caminero and Williams and some other guys. So it's not like they don't have a history of doing this. So I'm keeping my eye on Tampa in the Skubal potential sweepstakes, but I don't know. All right, what else we got here? What is the best pitch to get first pitch strikes? This is a tough one. Usually it's whatever you can command the best and you're not worried about getting ambushed by. But I also think there's a huge benefit if you can throw one of your not best pitches for a first pitch strike, Ted. because, like, for me, example, if I'm facing a righty, if I can throw like a cutter for a first pitch strike or a four seam, well, now I'm all set up because he hasn't seen my sinker or my sweeper yet. You know, and then that's just a little bit closer to the end game. So, no, I think I did see this. He pitches with such an edge right now, and it's fun to watch it. But yeah, eggshells around Gerrit right now when he's on the mound. He literally called pass interference on Wells during the game. We'll watch Gerrit in a minute. So Skubal's going to Dodgers is unlikely. I don't know. I mean, they can do whatever they want. They have enough prospects to do whatever they want, so we'll see. What are your thoughts on Bubba? He started yesterday's games. Velo was down at the beginning and seems to struggle to find the zone. People who have watched me stream for a while now know that I was not the highest on Bubba coming into the season. I watched him last year. I said, man, it's explosive, but he's much more of a thrower than a pitcher. I actually don't love his slider as much as the metrics do. I like his changeup quite a bit. And his fastball is great, but again, he sort of sprays it. A little bit of Jonah Tong syndrome where he can throw strikes mostly, but who knows where it's going to go. There's a lack of execution there. Doesn't pitch the top and the bottom, mostly just the top. But he showed improvement during this season, getting a lot more confident. And I think he'll figure it out. He's young enough and has good enough arm talent to figure it out. And anytime you have a feel for a changeup and 100 miles an hour, that's a good combo. So I say all that to say that I'm not high on his future, but I wasn't high on him being great this year. And I feel like I've been right about that for the most part. But I didn't watch his start yesterday yet. So we'll do one more and then I'll get started. We'll start watching some games. What's your opinion of Justin Lawrence's game? So it's funny because Justin Lawrence was a Rocky, and I remember as far back as 2018, we heard about a guy who could throw 100 miles an hour sidearm. I almost wanted to call him up from like A-ball that year and just try to help him and mentor him in the bullpen. Rockies never did that. He's been a weird character. He's bounced around to a lot of teams now. It's mostly been a struggle. No denying he's nasty versus righties, but not enough probably command, I would say. And then the stuff has really fluctuated. Anyway, all right. Can we watch Gerrit Cole's outing yesterday? My goodness, he dealt. I think that's a good place to start watching some baseball today. We did 20 minutes on the intro there. Also, by the way, I got my, if you guys were watching the stream yesterday and I was struggling with my heat maps, I got them back. So we're back. We're back. No worries now. All right. We're going to go over here to Yankees White Sox. This game ended up being 3-2. Bednar allowed a home run. Finally lost his streak of filthy dominating pitching, but he still looked great in my opinion. Punched aside. Anyway, Gerrit Cole. So this is Gerrit on the season now. He is now 12 starts in post Tommy John, 35 years old, 4-5, 3.57 in 12 starts, 68 innings, 73 strikeouts, 1.09 whip. Honestly, all very encouraging numbers, and I don't think he had really figured some things out until post All-Star break. I think his last 3 starts have been much more indicative of who he is. Here's what the metrics are saying overall for Gerrit at this moment. You see the red flags here. Getting hit a little bit too hard, 42.3% hard hit rate, and only 9 percentile ground ball rate. So that plays into his home run issues. There's also been 9.8% barrels. That's a little bit too high. Is still striking a lot of guys out, but is not getting chase, I don't believe, at his normal level. Let me go back to some Gerrit Cole numbers over the years and see where we are relative to career. So here's his chase percentages for his whole career. As you can see, mostly dominant. A little bit less so the last 2 times we've seen him. Now, this year, with the 32nd percentile year, that was the year he was hurt. So I think you chalk that up a little bit to faulty Brazo there. But now he's even a little bit below that. So chase rate's been a thing. Whiff rate has come way down. So there's some underlying metrics here that are a little troubling. A lot of them surround the 4-seam fastball. We talked about it on the last time we watched Gerrit. The 4-seam fastball whiff rate was at a career low. Started to come up a little bit. He's up to 22.2% now. Really, his previous low was like 23%. But at the break, he was at like 19%. So a lot of it was just the four-seam effectiveness. He worked on some things, and since then, it's been a lot better. Anyway, let's go look at his game logs, because these are the last 5 starts, if you go back pre-All-Star, have been pretty consistent. 5 innings, 2 runs, 6 1/3, 3 runs, 6 innings, 2 runs, 7 innings, 3 runs, 6 innings, 0 runs. And in his last 3 starts, he's got 3 walks and 26 strikeouts. 3 walks, 26 strikeouts. You would sign up for that any day of the week. Here is the player breakdown from last night. He threw 49 four-seam fastballs, averaging 97.2. He threw 22 sliders, 16 knuckle curves, and 12 changeups. A little bit of a pullback on the changeup usage in this start. Faced a ton of lefties, so that's notable to me. Remember, he did get beat on a changeup, on a changeup that got ridden out by Gonzalez on Pittsburgh. So that might have spooked him off it a little bit, or it just didn't make sense in the moment. We'll see. 5 hard hits, so this was one of his better games from a contact perspective. Through lots of first pitch strikes. Whiffs were about normal for him. All right. White Sox, Yankees. We'll have a little fun when he catches the pop-up. But I will say, I mean, this guy, and I was the same way. Sometimes you just have to pitch in a certain type of pissy, angry place, and that's definitely the way he's been pitching his last couple games, and I have no problem with it because you see the results with the strikeouts to walks. But it's been fascinating to watch. So starts off this game to my Italian friend Antonacci with 2 fastballs. There's a slider. That one was kind of nasty, but Sam does not chase. That's Sam's biggest thing. There's a four-seam away, and you can kind of see visually that fastball looks pretty good. Here's that first changeup of the day. Kind of hangs it a little bit, gets hit pretty hard. Jazz with a nice diving stop. Don't think this was a great pitch. So remember, we're wondering why he stopped going to the changeup at the same level, but maybe there's just a little bit of early lack of execution. We'll see. All right, that's 1 out. Next up is Murakami. Four-seam swing through away. Murakami's actually a tough guy to face, I think, because he'll swing and miss at a pitch that he'll demolish the very next pitch. So sometimes he might be a little tougher to read than others by the nature of how hard he swings. This is a dangerous pitch, but really good bite here and a really fast slider, 92. And he swings over that, and then he's going to punch him with the heater up. 1-2. That was really easy, and I showed this last time, but his delivery is so easy right now. That was 97, perfectly under control, up and away swing through location. Here's Vargas. Ooh, very nice knuckle curve for a strike. And now 98. Little miss there. 98.5. Pretty impressive, I mean, to throw this hard, this easy at 35. Off surgery. Another good location there on that fastball. Vargas hangs in. Now knuckle curve off that line. Pulls it a little far away for the take. That's the one thing that we've talked about he is missing right now is his chase rate. It's been down the last 2 years. If he can rectify that, he can get back into Cy Young form, I think. And then that's middle, but that played. That got above the barrel at 17 vert at 98. So in the early going, the biggest thing we've noticed in last start and now this start is that the fastball is already playing a little differently than it did pre-All-Star break. Yep, and there's another example. First pitch pop up to Montgomery. Now here's the play where he catches it. I mean, kind of ridiculous. We'll watch it again here. It is in no man's land, and because Rosario's way off the line, he doesn't come in and take charge of it early enough. And then they were too close together here, so by the time Gerrit realizes he has to catch it right here, Wells doesn't see him in his vision, and he does end up stepping on him right there on his foot. So I think that's what Gerrit was saying, like, man, you're all in my landing space. This would be what, a flagrant 1 in NBA now? When you land underneath a shooter's shooting feet. But anyway, he didn't look very athletic doing this, but he does catch it. And also props for the no panic drill as he swoops it out of his glove and still hangs in there on that. Yeah, he said pass interference. Yeah, no pass interference. No pass interference on call here, unfortunately. But I did see it. I did see it earlier, and I thought that was pretty funny. So we'll watch it one more time. But he does get his foot stepped on, and he kind of hangs with it, which is pretty funny.
We'll keep an eye on it, guys. Oh, wow, a juggling act by...
43% K percentage on the four-seamer last 5 starts, according to Yes. See, that's a big difference as we keep moving forward. And you can just watch it visually. He just gets a pitch timer violation there. This pissed him off big time too. I don't know exactly what happened here, but after this, he was really ticked off after this. First, he gets stepped on, and he chooses to take that personal, but then he got really mad about this with the umpire, and an automatic ball, and then honestly he went into anger mode after that. So first pitch, he is already 1-0 to Benintendi, drops the changeup in there. Changeup down, ball, nowhere close, and then slider. To me, this is a risky choice here. I hate that location, but it does work. Popped up to Volpe. 2 outs. And now Braden Montgomery. Really nasty and sharp knuckle curve right there. Probably heater up off of that. Yep, gets it to the up and away spot. Actually a good swing by Montgomery. He was really quick to that ball. 101. I talked a lot. That up and away swing through location is really good to lefties, but look at Montgomery coming up through that ball and sort of top spinning it like tennis backhand through the middle. So maybe you're just going to think to yourself, okay, this guy's he stays on the fastball, even with that first pitch curveball. File that away for later. All right, here's Peters. These are all important pitches to Peters, too, because Peters comes up in the biggest spot of the game later. Fastball takes, slider down, slider again. I think risky. I think he's gotten away with a couple of sliders in zone to lefty down in. And then there's that up and away swing through. This time it works to Peters, gets it a little bit more off the plate. Hold on. His pronation at least came back. In 2024, he had 91% of spin active in his four seam. This year, 97%. More similar to his previous years. Yeah, I think he's right there to have a really good fastball. I think he had to figure out a little bit of the deception piece, which I think he's cleaned up the last couple starts. But that was all him. He figured it out. He really self-diagnosed really well, and there's a nice heater down and away to Meaty Roth. Slider away, no close, and then here comes 97 away.
Ball 2 strikes here to my draw.
Little ground ball to second, a little flip over to first, so pretty good. Easy at bat there. Here is Romo, little backdoor curve. He's landing that curveball for strikes very well.
So you have to try some other things. Mistake, no.
All right, 2-1 as he misses with that one. Challenge heater here in the 9-hole. Good spot down and away, fouled off, and then he's going to get a called strike. I wonder where this one is. Yeah, accidental called strike in. Take it all day long.
He looks like he's right at the top of his game.
I think he's just trying to go middle up here. Ends up running back over the corner for the punchy. Now we're back to the top. Antonacci, slider for a strike. I love that first pitch right there because you know he's not swinging, and you're up 3-0 right now. So throw a bad version of your pitch, first pitch. Then he goes heater up, gets the foul ball. Now he's 0-2. Tough guy to strike out here. Let's see what he tries. 98 at the eyes. Change up. No.
At the plate with a 400 on-base percentage.
Oh, man. Like I mentioned, he doesn't chase much, so the down freeze is going to be there against Sam. And this is one of the cleanest hovercraft heaters I've seen from Gerrit in a while. This is just a rope. I mean, it's just 98 on a freaking line. Let's see the delivery on this pitch. I mean, that's just easy. He just totally under control. All right, where are we at? 4th inning, Murakami. 95 away ball. And I think this is the tough inning. I think this is the inning where he kind of loses his command all of a sudden. Good curveball there. Here comes a changeup. And yeah, definitely a little bit of a lack of changeup execution. As that one's down. And then he pulls that one in. And now it's a challenge heater to Murakami, and he is all over that. Smokes it down the line. So poor fundamentals getting behind 3-1 to Murakami. I feel like the 1-1 changeup was probably the frustration here. If he's able to land his 1-1 changeup, he's going to get to 1-2. Changeups have been excellent to Murakami this season. Instead, he gets to this 3-1 count, and this ball is absolutely smoked. He has no problem with velocity. It's more so just location sometimes will beat him up. But the speed of it doesn't bug him. He's proven that pretty quickly. All right, so leadoff double from Murakami, and now he's in it a little bit. Now, you are pitching with a 3-run lead here. So really, you shouldn't care about that runner. But he gets a little nibbly here and actually gets himself in more trouble. Good thing for Gerrit, he's nasty enough to get out of it. So 2-0 foul ball there by Vargas.
I pitch a little bit better, a little bit quicker.
And ball 4. So 1st and 2nd, nobody out. And this is the first stretch where he's kind of lost his command. Here's Montgomery. 2 fastballs up. He actually gets a lucky check swing strike there. Pulls the slider in. Again. And just all of a sudden lost the strike zone a little bit, and you got to credit the White Sox for being pretty patient. Now this was a key pitch. 3-1 challenge pitch to Montgomery. He's hit as many home runs as almost anybody in his time in the big leagues. And he goes slider at the top third of the zone, gets the take. Now 99.
3-2.
Challenge. Oof. And then 99 again, challenge. So these were some critical pitches here. He was able to locate the last 2 fairly high. Got above the barrel just enough. But he definitely backed himself in a corner there and had to make some big pitches. Those were the first 2 big ones he made. All right, now here's Benny. Changeup ball. Poor locations on the changeup in this game. Changeup again, ball. And then 2-0 slider. Gets him to cap it, but I bet you this is a hit, right? Oh, no, they get the out here. Then he walks the next guy. That's right. So a little capper, 2nd and 3rd. Now, this is going to end up being a walk with Montgomery. Just ends up throwing way too many pitches in this inning. That's probably the best changeup of the day right there.
These pitchers he's never seen before. And the rest of his game is going to come around from both sides of the plate power-wise.
Hammer curveball down. Great take by Montgomery there. Another changeup. You can see he's kind of aiming that thing a little bit.
Runners at 2nd and 3rd.
3-1 slider. He actually goes for it. I think this is him remembering earlier in the game that Montgomery was on the fastball, so no way he was going to give him a 3-1 fastball here. Goes backdoor slider. Makes a good pitch there. But then on 3-2, loses him up away, doesn't get the chase. Now he's got to throw more pitches. This was a very, very laborious inning and actually got pretty sketchy in this at-bat too. Immediately falls behind 2-0 to Peters. Curveball and then 98-7 down. So 2-0. Major challenge heater coming. I cannot believe Peters didn't swing at that. This is the pitch you got to swing at. But no, for some reason, Peters takes this pitch, the most hittable pitch I think he's going to see all game, right down the middle. That gets him back to 2-1. And then this, honestly, was a pretty good hittable pitch too, I think. Although, this did have some sharpness, so he chops it foul. And now you're in trouble. Now he's back to 2 strikes. Gets the fastball up a little bit more. And then he's going to get it up in a little bit better here. Still, got some hittable pitches, but was able to go to about 99 there and get the pop-up. So, throws a crap load of pitches in that inning, and that was a kind of a mess, but does work through it. And now we're off to the 5th.
So much longer to get to the ball. So you said, why don't you just try something? that anytime he makes a suggestion, they're willing to try.
Man, you got to swing at that pitch, Actions, because you're not going to get a lot of opportunities for one swing to drive in 2 or 3 or 4 runs, and you're down 3 runs. Trying to get a walk there or get to 3-0 doesn't really benefit you. I think Peters had to swing there and had to be all in on an ace swing in my opinion. All right, here's an out on a knuckle curve from Meadroth. Little chopper to third. And now here's Romo again. He's going to get a hit here. 9-hole hitter getting a hit on a fastball. And it's just fortunate. Little dinker in here. Very poor communication by the Yankees. Should have been an out. I don't know where Volpe was on that play. That was weird. And now back to the top. Antonacci, slider in the middle. Here comes changeup. Yeah, more poor changeup command in this game. I think that held him back a lot from potentially, pitching an additional inning or something like that. If he commands his changeup a little bit better, I think it saves him some pitches, and I think it makes his job a little bit easier. But he still did it anyway. That's a good location. And, look, his velo's been incredible, especially late in this start. That's 98.6, 82nd pitch. All right, Murakami again. Another good first pitch knuckle curve for a strike. Really good.
This is one of the pitches and trades that get pulled off before the deadline.
I feel like he has gotten his confidence up in his changeup, and this was a little bit more of a one-off where he just didn't have it going. And there's a really good slider to Murakami for the punchy. This is the one he's been seeking all year, is the chase slider. Strike, ball, slider. I mean, look at this pitch. Looks like it's driving right at Wells' face, and then it just disappears. That's probably the best slider of the day from Gerrit. And it's 91.5, and it's like 86th pitch.
Slider as Vargas wants to challenge.
Of course. Of course they do. I mean, not every pitcher does. Some pitchers go in there blind, which I think is insane, and just put full trust in either somebody else to call the pitches. But some people, that's how they want to operate. That's how they keep their mind clear, and they just don't think of themselves as a strategist. They think of themselves more as a target hitter, and that works for them. But the large majority of pitchers study the hitters, of course. I mean, you're going to face them over and over again. These are the best hitters in the world. It would help to know something about them before you walk into something bad. Here's more example of his four-seamer really playing, and this has turned everything around the last 3 starts. That's middle. He's gotten Vargas to pop up middle twice in this game. All right, 1 out in the 6th. Here is Colson. Doors up top, still throwing 97.
The best procedure is to stay aggressive.
When pitchers go on iPods in between innings, they're looking more at metrics to location. I would say both, maybe slightly more on location. A lot of times you want to check where a pitch was, whether it was hit or not hit, or a ball or a strike. Ooh. So he's featured a good knuckle curve all game, and he's used it mostly for leadoff strikes. This one, it looks like he slows it down a little bit and gets it right on the plate. This was truly a great curveball. That's a perfect pitch. Look at the height it starts at. Top of the zone, and finishes below the zone and has the hitter way out front. This is just, it's just a beautiful hook right there. All right, 2 outs, and now Benintendi, he's going to get a hit here. Little slash the other way down the line, so it does make him work a little bit harder to get this final out of the outing as Benny comes on with 2 outs. But now he's got Braden Montgomery, so looking to finish out a very nice performance here from Cole. You know what? He went back to the changeup and actually executed one there. So that's a good example of a guy who didn't lose faith in a pitch, even though it hasn't been there much in this game. All right, I talked a little bit about how when he gets tired at the end of his starts, he doesn't always finish his sliders. Here is a good example of that. Doesn't quite finish this pitch. Gets away with it, though. So 0-2, going for the kill. Still throwing 97 as he approaches 100 pitches. Fastball up, non-competitive. Here's a slider. Doesn't finish that one either. And then 4-seam, he's going to get the swing and miss on that up and away location at 97-4 to finish his outing. And you can see even on this pitch, he doesn't quite get the finish, get the hand through all the way. So a little bit of fatigue. I actually think with him, I can identify it a little bit more than with other guys at the very end of his outings when all of a sudden he's just a tick late with his hand and tends to leave a few pitches up. But he pitched really well, especially without good execution of his changeup. I love the first pitch curveballs he threw. I thought he had some of the sharper sliders he's seen. He's had some of the sharper sliders I've seen, especially towards the end of his outing. So I think he's trending super up right now. And you got to feel great if you're the Yankees about the Schlittler, Cole, Fried piece of this equation. And, you know, Carlos Rodon's on the way back. It all really centers on Judge, man. Get Judge back. You know Belly's going to probably come back. But you get Judge back, the Yankees can make a run. Make a run here. All right, Jose, will these breakdowns be uploaded anywhere? So every time I do a stream, the moment I get off the stream, I go and I put chapters into the stream. So if you go onto my YouTube channel, you can click on the live from whatever day you want, whatever episode, and you can click through the topics on the timeline. It's basically designed for you to be able to watch it the whole day and just get right to the part you want to watch. So, yeah. All right, what else we got here in the chat? Because that was a pretty long... That was a pretty long breakdown there. Knuckle curve, back-to-back high fastball, then a low hook. That's a nasty tunnel. Yeah, his curveball and his four-seam really work well for swing and miss, and also for freeze with the first pitch curveball because like they both play off that top line. That fastball up, guys are they're gonna have to speed up to it, and they're gonna be under it a lot. And then when they go to speed up to it, now you have a pitch that comes off the top line, but it's much slower and is going to drop way down. So you speed up and flatten out to get the fastball. Now you can't cover the curveball and vice versa. So everything works well together with those two pitches in particular. When he locates a down fastball, that creates a tunnel more for that slider chase. So you see how it kind of all works. I did think that he got away with some sliders in zone early, but, you know, if you get away with them, you get away with them. In a vacuum, what pitch should generate the most whiff? I would think the gyro ball, but maybe curve or split. I think whiff rates universally are either split or slider. I think slider probably still has the highest whiff rate in the game, but split's probably right there. Slider and split. It's not fastball. Definitely not fastball, although some people have a rare ability to get a lot of miss with fastballs. Adam, thoughts on Matt Blake and what he's done with the Yankees pitching staff? Big Matt Blake guy, big supporter of Matt Blake. He's really grown into that role. He's become, I think, one of the best pitching coaches in the game. Guys are consistently getting better around Matt Blake. Or, you know, they're able to make adjustments well. I feel like he sees the big picture well, and now he communicates really well, and he's really smart. And I like him. A lot of pitchers after Tommy John have a hard time pronating. Did you and Cole talk about the process of finding that higher efficiency? No, but he's super smart. He knows where his benchmarks are. You know, he knows what it looks like when he's right. But it is true. You know, a lot of times that finish and how you feel comfortable getting to full extension and then into pronation, that can be a process, and that looks a little different for every guy. Has tunneling strategy changed since ABS has been introduced? No, it has not changed. It's all the same. In fact, I think there's even more room for freezes because batters now have a confidence that they can challenge borderline pitches. So I think there's less need to swing if it's close. If it's close, but they think it's a ball out of the hand, now they're going to take it, and they know they can still challenge. So, and also every hitter's being graded on swing decisions much more now than at any other point in history. So they want their chase rate percentile to be really good, meaning they don't chase a lot. So that, to me, that means now there's more opportunity to freeze guys, pitches that look like balls and clip the corner. Also, the pickup point of the ABS is a little bit further back. It's not the front of the plate. It's midway, 8.5 inches back, which means if you start something off the plate, it doesn't even have to come back at the tip. It has to come back at the midpoint and nick that zone to be strike three. So, that's why I think tunneling, if anything, is even more important now. But it's the same game. It's just there's a lot of opportunity with ABS for freezes. Probably you're going to get less chase or less bad swings overall, though, especially out of lefties away, as that strike zone really has shifted into a smaller place. I see people clamoring for Peter Lambert a little bit. I've seen a few Peter Lambert. Maybe this is the same guy. Peter Lambert breakdown, please. All right, let me move forward for a second. I was thinking maybe tunneling changes may have affected Cole's chase rate. I didn't realize the effect it has on the batters. No, I don't think it did, but batters have gotten better at not chasing since Gerrit got hurt. I will say that. Appreciate you. Who are the guys right now who you think have elite stuff and elite deception? I would say Mizorowski, Gage Jump. I think Cease to some extent. I don't know. All the best pitchers have some level of deception. That's a tough one. Tough putting on the spot right there. I definitely going to do Gavin Williams. But they want me to look at Peter Lambert for a second. So let me just at least go look at his Savant page, because I haven't been up to date with Peter. Peter was a rookie with the Rockies when I was there. So I've known this dude a long time. Peter Lambert, second rounder, 2015 draft by the Rock Show, out of California high school, is having by far his best run of pitching ever right now. 2026 with the Astros. He's made 18 starts. He's 8-5, 3.06 ERA, 103 innings, 100 strikeouts, 1.15 whip. I actually think it kind of makes a lot of sense to trade him right now, because he has real value out there considering how he's been pitching, and maybe he's not a part of their future. I don't know. Maybe this is a sell high type of situation. I've always thought Peter Lambert was a pretty good control pitcher, execution type pitcher who was trying to figure out who he was. And I think who he was and what he found out was that he had to go to a huge pitch arsenal to be successful. He wasn't good enough to outstuff anybody in this league. But check out the pitch mix right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pitches. Now I know a few of them are pretty low usage, but still eight pitch types per Savant. So he's trying to do a little bit of a Lugo or a Bassett. All right. He's been on a hell of a run of late, though. Look at his July. He's got a 1.88 ERA in 5 starts in July, 28 2/3, 22 hits, 6 runs, 1 home run only, 8 walks, 32 strikeouts. So this is the best run Peter Lambert's ever been on. And he pitched against the Angels yesterday. Who are the teams he faced during this stretch? Okay, Tampa Bay. That's a good one. Texas, Baltimore, Miami, and the Angels. Interesting. What's been working for Peter this season? The changeup. Big-time changeup. Changeup's his number 1 whiff pitch, 31.5%. What's the trick with his changeup? Is it movement-based? Is it speed-based? Looks like it's a combination of both. His 4-seam averages a lot of rise, but he's got a high arm angle, so that makes sense. 17.6 inches of rise at 94, 87. So you're talking only 7 miles an hour. 7 miles an hour, but also about 9 or 10 inches of drop. Go look at Lambert versus Dodgers, his best start. Well, it's too far. It's too far back to backtrack to that. I'm not going to go back to April 5th. But I'll speed watch this last one so we can take a peek of him versus the Angels. This is from yesterday. I try to stay current around here. But I hear you. Anyways, look pretty good. I do remember he always had a good changeup, so that hasn't changed much. Anyway, here's the start. 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 90 pitches. Breakdown, 30 changeups. 16 sinkers, 15 4-seamers, 12 sweepers, 9 cutters, 6 sliders, 2 slurves. It's just a lot going on there. Actually got pretty good whiff on the changeup, 40% whiff on the changeup. He does throw a lot of strikes, didn't allow a lot of hard contact. All right. Let's see. We'll watch this one really quick, and then we'll move on probably to Gavin Williams. Maybe some hitters after that. We'll see. All right, Lambert, we're going to do the speed watch, though. We're just going to watch the result pitches here. Anyway, here's Peter Lambert. Let's see how he gets his outs. First batter of the game is Neto. Going to get him with a changeup swinging. I wonder if there's some HAA stuff with Lambert. He is extremely on the third base side of the rubber now. I could maybe look into later where he was before, but you see that here. He's way over here, so he's creating a little bit of a diagonal slant of all of his pitches into the strike zone. So it's a little bit of a weird angle here. Probably helps his fastball and his breaking ball play, but this is a right-on-right changeup that he gets chased way off the plate away on. So that's just a weird outcome. Weird chase there by Neto. All right, here's Trout. Going to get him with a changeup as well, called on the inside corner. So also kind of a weird outcome here, but he does get the first two guys out. And he's actively trying to create deception with this delivery. Turns, hides the ball behind the leg, can't see the ball, and now you can see the ball. But for the longest time there, also he's visually, you can't see it from this angle, but he feels like he's a little bit behind you because he's way over there. And then he's going to go ahead and deliver it. So he's trying to really hide the ball behind his body the whole way, and then he's doing something with his angle to try to create more deception. You see a lot of pitchers nowadays going to some sort of unorthodox or extreme setup point on the rubber, mainly to help boost the angle on their pitches because their pitches alone aren't above league average. All right, here's a cutter to Shanuel. Doesn't get it into a great spot, kind of leaves it down. Blue hit for Shanuel. Solaire's going to get a hit here on a sinker. This should have been an out, but Trammell breaks back on that. So gives him a free hit there. First and third, 2 outs. And now it's a 3-pitch strikeout, so let's watch the whole thing to Vaughn Grissom. First pitch sinker in. Good pitch there, down, chops it foul. Good downhill plane on that. Now here's the sweeper. That's the opposite effect. He's underneath that. And now he'll go to his changeup. Looks like the changeup's the go-to with 2 strikes. Yeah, and way out front on that changeup. Really good execution. I mean, it's a good height for a while, and you see it just kind of runs out of steam. Really nice changeup. Interesting how basically every pitch on Lambert's plot has somewhat atypical movement profile. Not a bad thing. Oh, anyway. All right, so this is going to be a 3-pitch strikeout of Meckler, finishing him on a changeup. So you see why he's effective. It's the changeup. Changeup execution, a lot of 2-strike changeups have been super duper effective, and he's just trying to mix it up enough to get to 2 strikes. There's a line out. Here's a hit by pitch on a changeup. And here's an out on a sweeper to Ohtani. So first time through the order, does a pretty good job, gets a lot of guys out with changeups. But I do think something about the angle on the rubber is probably a big adjustment he's made at some point. All right, here's Neto. Pretty good pitch, but a good job by Neto to stay inside that. So leadoff hit in the third. Here's Trouty. Gets it to that spot, the Mike Trout spot, the up and in. Gets the easy out. Good location there. Here's Shanuel. Yeah, he's hiding the ball well. I think that's part 2. And that's the thing. There's so many layers to pitching. It's not all about throwing hard and having nasty shit. I mean, of course, that helps, and everybody wants that. A little fly out there on the fastball. But also it's command, sequencing, tunneling, deception, angles, pitch choices. There's like a million different things to layer in. Extension, that can all help you. So that's what he's trying to do. All right, so he gets burned here with a first pitch cutter right on right to Vaughn Grissom. Had punched him out the previous time up. This time tries to sneak, gets ahead with the cutter, ends up kind of backing it up down the middle, and Vaughn takes care of that with a line drive to left. So that's 1 run right there. And then he's going to get out of the inning with a changeup to Meckler. So it's pretty much changeups. He wants to throw changeup. Everything else is just a charade for him to get to the changeup. All right, 4th inning. Little mishit fly ball by Adele, 1 out there. Back to Peraza. Ooh, gets a chase on a sweeper on 1-2. Real punchy there, and then a sinker here to Ohtani. So a 3-up, 3-down inning without getting out any outs on changeups. That's very effective and very, well, very useful for him for later if he keeps going. All right, 5th inning.
Oh, he's taking out the pitch count.
Neto, fly ball to right.
Carrying as Smith goes back, but has room shy of the track. 1 out here in the.
Trying to get this pencil to charge. There we go. All right, Neto fly out to right.
In his last 6, 2-2. The
now here's Trout. Man, Trout's just like, there's art to pitching, of course, but it's like a science pitching the Trout.
Well, maybe after
like it's pretty simple. Like throw it up and in, and you're gonna be all right. You miss anywhere in the zone down, you're not gonna be all right. And so that's what happens here. Misses down, snaps right through that ball. 108, legendary swing. Watch it how quickly he snaps his body here. I mean, it's just the tightest. This move. It's unbelievable. And that's what Jeremy Pena looks like at the plate right now. Very similar come through with the 2 hands. All right, so Trouty base hit. Shanuel gets him out on a changeup. It's all about the changeup. All about the changeup with Lambert. Now he gets himself in trouble here. 2 outs. So 1-1 count. Honestly, good pitch. Better swing. And because it's 2 outs, Neto Trouty's flying on the pitch. And he's safe. Let's watch Mike Trout run in his old age, old baseball age. 2 outs, so he knows he can get going here. And honestly, it doesn't look like he ever really gets going. But he does put a lot of effort behind it and is able to score. So honestly, that's a good pitch. Great swing by Soler. Below the zone swing. Here's another hit. Vaughn Grissom. So Grissom's gotten him 2 of the last 3, both through the same spot. Ground balls through the hole. Paredes knocks it down. That ultimately saves a run. And he's able to get his last out here with a changeup. He dominated Meckler with changeups. So yeah, Peter Lambert, it's all about the changeup, guys. It's all about the changeup. Everything else is a charade to get to the changeup. He literally has 6 or 7 other pitches just to get to the changeup. I don't think I could pitch him in a playoff game, but I think he could maybe be a guy that helps you get to the finish line. And for a team that might need more starting depth, you could see that happening. Houston might be wise to trade him at his high moment right now. Because you see, there's nothing in the profile there that screams like, oh, this guy's an ace in the making. I like Peter Lambert, but he's a back of the rotation guy. We're definitely going to watch Gavin Williams soon, but I'm going to see what we got here in the chat. That changeup is pure. I agree. Otto buying tickets for Cubs and Yankees on Friday. Best places to sit at Wrigley. Really can't go wrong much. The best seat in the house is that second deck front row. Also, you know, bleachers is an interesting experience. You just want to stay away from the pillars that are in your way, the beams. If you can, that's an obstructed view. Other than that, you're going to be good to go. It's a very intimate, great place to go. Yankees, Cubs, what could be better than that? Is Anaheim a tough place to pitch? No, I don't think so. I'd say it's one of the better places to pitch. Although it's become a little bit more hitters with them moving the wall in or whatever they did with the wall in right at some point. But overall, great place to pitch. Great pitching weather. You're never overheated, but you get a nice lather going. It's kind of perfect. Bro is going to Old Timers Day. You're damn right I am. I got you. I saw your request. I got you. I did play in WBC. I got to pitch one time. Yeah, sometimes in day games a little bit, Jay Crispy, but not that often. All right. Gavin Williams was promised. So he's coming next. He's been on a little bit of a roll, huh? Honestly, this guy's Gerrit Cole light, but with better, I don't know about better, but a similar knuckle curve, maybe a little better, and a better sweeper, because Gerrit doesn't throw the sweeper. Four-seamers very similar. I find them very similar. I don't think he's not a Gerrit Cole level yet, like in terms of like body of work, but That's probably the idol, right? Gavin Williams. Yeah, we'll do some hitters. We'll do some hitters after. We're gonna do hitters right after this outing. Okay. Then we'll do some hitters, and we'll see where we're at. I got a little time today, especially since we're gonna do no show tomorrow. All right, Gavin Williams, 10-6, 3.71 through 22 starts, 133 and a third, 168 strikeouts, 1.07 WHIP. So that's his best. Walk percentage, 69th percentile, paired with a K percentage of 31.6. So that's really good. K minus walk percentage. That's a really good indicator of how nasty a guy really is and that he throws strikes. Gets miss in zone. 87th percentile whiff, 77th percentile chase. You're going to see he's got banger breaking balls and enough velocity to speed you up. Extension's really good, makes the velo play even better. His one issue is the home run, so very similar to Gerrit in that way as well. Here is the mix for him on the season. It's 28% sweeper, 25% four seam, 22% curve. So it's two fastball shapes, four seam and sinker, and two breaking ball shapes. There's a little bit of cutter in there to try to steal strikes, but that's the main. It's the main situation. So who did he pitch against yesterday? Is this the game against the Reds? He pitched in the other game. Reds won this game. 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 12 strikeouts. Takes the L, though. Did get clipped in the home run department by J.J. Bleday. Breakdown on Gav. 43 sweepers. My goodness. 38 four-seamers, 11 curveballs, 9 sinkers. This was a sweeper four-seamer day for Gavin Williams. And why not? 62% whiff on the sweeper? Guess that's what happens when you throw almost an 89-mile-an-hour sweeper. That is absurd. He actually got 48% whiff. 25 swings and misses in this game. So you're going to see some nastiness. Reds, Guardians. All right, Gavin Williams. He's good enough to watch every pitch, so we'll do that real quick.
He's been on a roll.
All right, here we go. Starts the game versus Ellie, 96-mile-an-hour heater. Just get ready for a whole bunch of bangers.
Hit strike one. Something that's distinct. Fouled hard by De La Cruz.
What's your nickname coming up here?
So many fans will use comparisons such as Gerrit Cole light to get an idea of players, but on the other end of that, does it get annoying as a player to hear those comparisons, even if positive? Not really. I mean, people love to be compared to pitchers that they think are great. Here's that first sweeper to De La Cruz. This is 89, so most people can't throw a sweeper in that location and get a lefty to swing and miss, but his is different. So see you later. I don't know. Maybe if if they feel insulted by it a little bit, then maybe. But overall, I hear what you're saying, though. I do hear what you're saying. Usually you have some pitcher that's usually you're like, you know, kind of like the guy you're modeling yourself after at one point. Man, Angels would be the dream job if they give you the budget and everything. I love it out there. All right, so here's another ridiculous sweeper to Sal Stewart. And Sal Stewart's looked amazing all year, but check out how good this pitch is. So nasty. And he's also a third base side of the rubber guy, Gav. So that means, check out where his hand is at release. It's way in here. So he gives himself all that room to bend stuff this way. And because it's 88, there's a lot of plate to work with. And the hitter has to like stay in there a little bit. If he throws any fastball in, they have to honor it. And it just makes it that much nastier. And so this pitch is really, really good.
He went strike 3.
See you later. Here's Bleday, who's going to get him later. Do you feel like the WBC takes an early toll on players, specifically pitchers? Not really. I understand the narrative behind it, but I do think you start a little bit earlier. You should be fine. But we've seen examples, good and bad, of guys having seasons after the WBC. So I don't know if we have enough data on it yet.
He struck out 13 men. Bleday lifts a foul ball. Swinging 3-0 there.
I like this comment. Oh, there's the home run right here. So it's a 98-mile-an-hour sinker? All right, so he falls behind him 3-0. This is a 3-0 swing on the fastball. 3-0, nobody on in the first, and J.J. Bleday tries to hit a home run. Then he comes back with a sinker and gets clipped on the home run. This is a very strange at-bat, the way this played out, but credit to Bleday. He dropped head on that. That's got to be 104. 106 for the home run for Bleday. He's been having a really nice year for the Reds. So Williams clipped for the solo shot. That's pretty much how this guy gives up runs. It's homers. And now we're up to Nathaniel Lowe. Four-seam strike turned over to a ball, and then another heater. Good pitch to hit. Blooped it at the wrong guy, though. Kwan goes and runs that down, and we are on to the second.
Dane Myers leads off. 2 hits in game 1. In 9 games since coming back off.
All right, ball one there. Here comes the right-on-right sinker to Dane Myers. Doesn't get it in, leaves it down the middle, rolls it up the middle. I haven't seen good fastball command from Williams yet. He's pulling everything away. He's missing his target to the left almost every time. Now, this time it works out great because it's a sinker and Noelvi Marte decides to try to pull an outside pitch. And when you try to pull an outside pitch that's down, you almost always hit a double play ground ball. So that's what Marte does. And his bad command doesn't come back to bite him. He gets 2 outs on 1 pitch. Here is Johnson, 4-seam up and in. That was nice. But you see how the angle on his pitches is? Everything goes a little bit right to left, and then he has a tendency sometimes to pull them in a little more away from his target. I think the adjustment there is just to stay closed just a hair longer. But, you know, there's a good fastball above the zone. So a nice strikeout there, finishes the second. On to the third, 1 pitch out coming here. First pitch sweeper to Trevino. Decent ambush attempt, honestly. Just misses it, but that's a great outcome for Williams.
Sunday in St. Louis, there was a leadoff shot in the 5th inning.
And now we are up to Key Brian Hayes. Oh, he's back. I mean, he was out for a while. Hasn't done much with the stick in years, but he's an incredible defender. Perfect sweeper there again. You just run out of bat on it, and he speeds you up enough because he's throwing 98. This is 99. So you so sped up, and then you think you're swinging at a fastball, and it's this like really nasty sweeper like that. I mean, you see the effect. Check out the left foot of Key Brian. It's already gone. You're never going to hit a pitch on the outside corner when you're here. So Williams continuing to just dominate with sweepers. It's one of the better sweepers in the game. 2 outs. Back to the top of the order, Ellie De La Cruz struck him out with a sweeper. I don't really eat Lunchables. My mom always packed me a lunch as a kid. Not really a Lunchable guy. Whoa. Yeah, Ellie is not seeing that slider at all. He could throw that sweeper. He could throw that every time down in. Let's see if he tries it again here. Tried to go backdoor, just misses. I just keep throwing it. He's never going to adjust to it based on those first swings I've seen. Yeah. You could just spam that pitch to him all day long. And that's 2 Ks. Here's Sal. Got him with the sweeper the first time, too. Beautiful one there. Sal's going to have to drive him to right field. That's a good take. One thing about Sal Stewart, he knows the strike zone. So now we're really spamming sweepers all of a sudden, and you see they're working, so why not? Now he's going to try backdoor 99 sinker. Overcooks it. And now 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
2-2. Swing and a miss.
That is absolute gas. Let's watch him do it from the side. He does a lot of things well here. First thing he does that I really love is he gets weightless right here. That's so important. It's something that I didn't focus enough. It's something that I didn't focus enough on late in my career was on that gather, getting weightless to then come down and drop into the back leg. Super powerful. But watch Gav. Up. He weightless there, and then he drops down, and then it's just everything comes like, then it's just just ram on the gas pedal. So that's 99. That's gas. And Sal Stewart got absolutely torched. All right, Bleday clipped him on the fastball in. Sinker in the first at-bat for the home run. Here's a curveball. Hasn't thrown a lot of those, but right on command. Beautiful spot.
Backdoor strike.
I will be back tomorrow with another random question of the day. Come back on Friday. No show tomorrow, I don't think.
JJ has that perfect swing for that. Part out, but since you brought it up.
This is a big favorite on the team planes around big leagues, is the Uncrustables. I've seen DJ LeMahieu fire down 5 or 6 of these on a flight. There's a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, 100.4 to be exact, to the up and away location here to Blade. So Williams cooking with gas here in the 4th. Yes, played in the MLB. How many Philly cheesesteaks can you throw down? I think the most I ever had in the visiting clubhouse was 2.5 in one day. Could definitely throw down more, but I also don't want to be in the bathroom for the rest of the week, so I always try to not overdo that.
50th pitch of the game right there.
All right, battling with Lowe here. He's got ridiculous stuff this inning. Just back and forth. He should throw a curveball down, but for some reason he's really leaning on the sweeper even versus lefties today. Yeah, it's working though. Can't fault him. This is going to punch him here with the sweeper. Yeah, a little half swing. See you later. Best inning yet, 4th inning. Williams looked great in that 4th inning. What happened with working at Yes Network? Nothing. I do about 2 series a month. I'm on next weekend in the series versus the Braves on pre and post. That's during Old Timers weekend, so nothing really. Eric Langell tried to break the record in 24, but got buried. Couldn't beat it. Couldn't break it, but yeah, he's the best. I'm doing a road trip to Cleveland and Pittsburgh. First time going there. Any good food, coffee recommendations? I'm trying to think what my Cleveland spots are. Cleveland's actually sneaky decent. Decent walking areas kind of near the field, near the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I've had a couple good food places that are a little further out of town. Pittsburgh's got a lot of good food downtown. I got to think about the specifics on that. All right, so here's the first walk of the game. So after his best inning, the 4th inning, comes out in the 5th inning with a walk. Yeah, we went from Wade Boggs Airplane Beers to DJ Uncrustables. Yeah. Yeah, that beer game, that only lasts so long in the modern game, I'll tell you that.
Throwing 100 certainly helps too.
It's the weirdest place you've been recognized? I don't know.
Make it there a little under 3.
I don't know. School drop-off? A lot of places, I guess.
That said, catcher Austin.
All right, so he jumps ahead 1-2 on Marte. Remember, Marte tried to pull a sinker away early to no avail. Ooh, nice stolen base by Dane Myers. So, man on second, no outs. Marte spoils, and then here comes a curveball for the swing and miss. Another good breaking ball from Williams, another good result. All right, 1 out, man on second. Here's Johnson. Curveball down ball. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep an eye out for the vlog. Almost done editing it. Ooh, sweeper backdoor strike. Probably a good pitch to hit, but it's tough when everything's so fast. And there's 99 up and in. That just straight up beats him. Kwan tries to come in and get it. Can't get it. Goes back to second. Really weird play here where you know how good Kwan is as a fielder, so Dane Myers freezes at second base, worrying that he's going to catch this. Ends up actually going back to second. It doesn't even advance to third, but it is a bloop single base hit, even though he was absolutely beat by that pitch. So first and second, 1 out.
I love it.
Still throwing 99 miles an hour here in the 5th. Sinker down to Trevino. I see your question, Uncle Ted. Come on, you know the answer. Sweeper chopper. Good play by Gav. Second and third, 2 outs. So this becomes a big at-bat. Key Brian Hayes. This is the matchup you want. 9-hole hitter. A little bit of a wet newspaper. This is the matchup you should want. Yep, get him to swing at pitches like that. So 0-2. He's throwing 91-mile-an-hour sweepers right now. No. Just keep ripping them. Oh, no! Overcooks it and gives him a free run. Oh, God. This is worst-case scenario.
That gets by. Myers flies home.
All right, so you got a man on third, right? You know you're throwing a breaking ball. It's not about framing here, in my opinion. If you're throwing a fastball, it might be a little bit about framing here. You guys think he should be knee down right here? Call me a curmudgeon. But for me, you got to be able to have attempt. You have to have some ability to move to the right here and try to knock this ball down. I know he's really good at pancaking everything with the glove and picking everything. But to me, being on the one knee here gives him zero chance to pick this ball. And it costs him a run. So, to me, I think that it's the wrong priority here. It's not about framing in this spot. You're calling a breaking ball. It's not about framing. It's about blocking. So, anyway, get some one pitch later. That's frustrating as a pitcher. You get one pitch away from throwing up the 0. You throw a freaking wild pitch, the run scores, and now you're back at it. So, all right, 6th inning, 2 runs in. He's already got 10 punchies. You agree with me? Thanks, big dog. Yeah, looked a little lazy. I just think the priority was wrong, and he's smart enough to understand that. All right, so Ellie this time decides he doesn't want to wait around for another sweeper that he can't hit. Swings at a fastball, flies out to center. Still throwing 98, by the way. All right, Sal Stewart, matchup 3. This time he takes all the way, and he dots a sweeper away. He's seen a ton of sweepers. You got to wonder if Sal's sitting on that. Fastball away, ball. One of those things where in the aggregate over the course of the season you gain more runs than you lose. Yeah, but you're not framing a sweeper there is never really gonna help. Like there's no you're not trying to strike him out looking. So I know in the aggregate I don't mind being knee down, but I think in a situation where the difference between blocking a ball and not blocking a ball is a run, don't you think you have to hedge that way? I don't know. Just my thought.
That was for Cleveland coincidentally. Williams has been on his career, let alone today. Lifted. Shallow set.
Just a thought. All right, pop up here from the day. Really easy 6th inning. 7th inning now.
Time meaningful. Congratulations to all. And it was the husbands and the Reds and Guardians.
Sweeper strike, generous strike.
Cause having some fun. Thank you, Jim. Nathaniel Lowe.
And little ground ball to Bazana. So does a good job pitching into the 7th here, and I think through the 7th. Really clean 6th inning. Start off the 7th inning in a good spot. Here's Dane Myers, drew a walk the last time. Best pitch in the game right now, you got to say it's Mizorowski's fastball, right? Gotta. For me. Gotta be. Oof. Just his sweeper has been on another level in this game. So he goes 6 up, 6 down to finish out the game between the 6th and the 7th. This is his last batter, Noelvi Marte. Gavin Williams is really good. You can see the breaking balls are special. He throws pretty dang hard. He's got big extension. A little bit of a home run issue at times, but he's a monster. Wonder how long until the Guardians start to want to trade him, because they know they're not going to want to pay him. So they did it again, though. Another young guy comes up and becomes a number 1 or a number 2 style starter. Ooh, nice little shoestring catch out there in right. Is that the Lauder? Nice play. Nice 7 innings for Gavin Williams. Absolutely went nuclear with the sweeper. The sweeper is one of the best pitches I've seen anybody throw this year. I mean, you're talking averaging 11 inches of left turn with basically 89 miles an hour in this game. That's ridiculous. No wonder they missed it 16 times. So, that was very impressive. That was very impressive stuff. All right, we're back in here on the chat. Can you do gauge jump? I was thinking about it. Yeah. Definitely thinking about it. But I think we should look at some hitters maybe a little bit. Appreciate you, Flat Top Tony. Appreciate you. Easily the Miz fastball. He's throwing 105 over the plate. Agree, it's stupid. How do you feel about the Luzardo today? I mean, I love Jesus almost every time he pitches. He's so filthy. With everyone knee down now, it's only a matter of time till the bullpen catcher gets rich inventing the best thigh protectors. That's true. They do need like a little sleeve insert there for the thighs. That's a good point. Really good point. Does not going knee down there serve as a tipping a pitch with a runner on second? Yeah, it might. But that's why I think I would keep him up the whole time with the runner on second, me personally. That way you don't give it away with the being the one knee down and then not being the one knee down on the breaking ball. You can still frame without one knee down. I know one knee down is proven a better strategy in the aggregate. I agree. I'm just saying be selective. It's like you want to get your A swing off, but you also want to have your contact two-strike approach as well. All I'm saying is you can do both. You can do both. Get you somebody who can do both. That's just my opinion. Ayo, should I sign you on my franchise mode in the show? You're asking for $2.1 million for 2 years. That seems like a steal. I don't know, man. Seems like a steal. What moves do you think the Yankees should make? I mean, we've been saying it for a while. Maybe one more killer reliever. I think catcher could be an upgrade. I think third could be an upgrade. Maybe even short, depending on what's available. Maybe another power bat. You know, a little more insurance for some of the guys that are out. But they'll be opportunistic. We'll see. I still think they're in a good spot, provided Judge will be healthy. What made you start doing this? I just love baseball, and it's hard to keep up with baseball on a daily basis. Like, I watch games, but I don't get to watch everything, so this allows me a forum to connect with people who love the game like me and watch everything and teach a little bit and interact, and it keeps me really sharp for my broadcasting as well. So, all right, let's go see what we got in the coffee cups. We are an hour and 24 minutes into the stream, which is not bad. What were my batters from yesterday? Oh, yeah, Dominic Mother effin' Canzone was requested. So let's go look at Dom, and maybe we'll check out Shohei a little bit from that game. Mariners, Mariners Dodgers last night. Let me go look at the box score from that game because I'm a little bit in the dark of what the hell happened. Seattle 7, Dodgers 6. Box score in that game. Robleski got hit a little bit. 4 homers. 6 innings, 4 homers. You know, he's actually been striking out more batters as of late, but he's a contact pitcher in a lot of ways. Castillo got shelled, 11 hits, 2 home runs as well. Bullpen work was solid from the Mariners. Munoz did get clipped for a run, but the Dodgers were a little faulty. Brock Stewart gave a run. Vestia gave up a run. They end up losing it. Dominic Canzone in the 4-hole for the Mariners. Man, you know what impressed me when I was with Team Italy was Dom freaking Canzone's BP. This guy hits the ball almost as hard as anybody. His max EV is like way over 110. And you wouldn't think it. 6 foot, 190 listed, doesn't feel as big, but he's got some Italian thunder in that stick. Pause, if you know what I'm saying. So he has 18 home runs, 263 average. Somehow he had 300 last year. 263 average, 330 on base, 530 slugging though this year. So a lot of homers, a lot of power. A lot of swing and miss, but it's actually mitigated quite a bit. I mean, 25th percentile chase, 31st percentile whiff. Not as bad as it could be. Not as bad as it could be. You know, hey, before I move forward, Ron brings up a good point here. 100 in the chat, 29 likes. What gives? Hit that thumbs up for me. If you're in the TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Come subscribe. We're trying to get to 12,000 subs. That's our next goal. Anyway, dominate Calzone. So anyway, this guy's been a beast overall. It's pull side pop. It's a lot of pop. And he's having a great year. I know they platoon him quite a bit, but he's right in the middle of it when he's going good. Let's check out the game logs on Dom Canzone because the kid is hot right now. Last 3 games, hits in all 3 of them. 3 hits versus Texas the other day. And then last night, 2 hits, and they both left the ball yard. So back to this game, Dodgers versus Mariners last night. And we're going to look at these at-bats from Dom Canzone. He homered his last 2 at-bats. So let me see what Robleski got him out with early, just so we can be educated here. Welcome to Dodger Stadium. So first at-bat, he gets him out with a sweeper. Not really hit that hard. Got it off the end. Okay, second at-bat, it's a first pitch out on a sinker. So this is a left-on-left battle. now that Dom's getting more left-on-left opportunity. Pulled both balls into the shift, a sinker and a sweeper. Hit that one hard. So if you're Robleski, you're probably thinking sinker, he was kind of on it. All right, here's the home run at bat. Let's see it. 1-run game here in the 6th. This is going to tie the game. Four-seam up, taking all the way. Here comes another heater here. Swing and miss. So jumps ahead 0-2 on 2 four-seamers. Now to the slider.
Yet you'll find them side by side in all the categories you want to be ultimately.
A little trigger, but no swing, and then four-seam home run. So actually looked really bad on that four-seam downswing. Let's see where this is. Oddly, it's up. It's oddly a good pitch, and he destroys it. Destroys it to center. Holy cow, how hard. 108. 107.9 at 29. Just showing you this guy's got stupid thunder. Stupid thunder. And this as a pitcher, this is crazy because there's no way Robleski could have expected him to be on this, given how this at-bat started. But good execution, better swing. Ball's absolutely launched to center. Canzone was predictably awful in the playoffs because he beat up on bad pitchers last year. I mean, this is just a swing out of nowhere to cover this at the top is wild. But when he gets behind a ball, he really smashes it. Damn. So that's the first home run. That tied the game. Second home run coming off Vesia. So both of them are left on left, and it's another guy with extremely, well, this guy's got even way more vert than Robleski, but that's what he tries to do. So it's a slider called strike, and then a slider home run. So he's going to homer off lefties on sliders and fastballs. And again, he hits the ball so hard that he knew this was gone off the bat. It's a dead center in Dodger Stadium. Little hanging slider, kaboom again. 107.5 at 29. Stupid power. Stupid power. But it looks like it's very handsy, so he might need to be studied. How does he generate this pop? God damn, that ball was smoked. I mean, phenomenal just bat drop. He crushed this ball, man.
0-1 to Canzone is lifted to deep center field. Pages going back at the track at the wall. It's his second of the game and the 6th for Seattle.
Doesn't show the bat speed on here yet. I've been working with them really hard to get them to have that start to pop up on here a day later, but they haven't put that into play yet. So man, that was actually really impressive. Left on left, Dom Canzone. I feel like he never really got any at-bats versus left-handers until recently. Even on the year, he's only got 45 at-bats, 45 plate appearances versus lefties, 252 versus righties. What did it look like last year? 68 total, 201 versus righties. Yeah, like they're still continuing to platoon him, but then this time he gets a chance and he goes off. He only got 14 plate appearances in 24 versus lefties. I mean, it's been stark his whole career, so we've never really gotten to find out what he can do or not do, but 4 home runs and only 45 plate appearances versus lefties. This guy's going to be in the lineup, I bet, moving forward. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. He's been platooning the whole time. Vesia, a totally different pitcher when he's 93, 94. Yeah, I mean, who isn't? But you're right. No, I saw the exit velocity. Just there, he was talking about the swing speed. A couple nukes the other day against Texas too. He's a beast. He's a beast. 28 years old. Interesting player, man. Interesting player. Mariners might have something here moving forward, and he's hit some absolute bombs. I wonder what this one looks like. This one looks very far. So let's see. This is earlier in the year against Armstrong. I mean, it's deep out there. It's real deep out there. That's a bomb. How hard he hit that one? 109.3. So elite exit velo on Mr. Canzone is a fact. Now, also from this game, Shohei Ohtani went 3 for 4. So let's check out Shohei Ohtani. This is his batting. stuff. Raw data on Shohei so far this year. 286, 391, 533. So the slugging is the main thing that's down. 924 OPS. He's at 23 home runs. He had over 50 the previous 2 years. So that's the one thing that's fallen off a little bit. But his expected slug is still a 98th percentile. 575 x slug. So take it with a grain of salt. Anyway, Shohei 3 for 4 yesterday. We know what he's been doing. He's not pitching right now, which is kind of a bummer. But it might give some other people some opportunities. So 3 for 4 in that game. Let's watch Shohei's at-bats. 3 for 4 with a walk. First at-bat versus Castillo. Let's see how this one goes. Castillo, definitely, I think the Mariners would like to move on. We'll see how that goes in a couple days in the trade deadline. I'm sure they'd rather have Cade Anderson starting at this point. All right, so fastball away, changeup middle, fouled off, changeup, fastball middle, swing through.
Ohtani is hitting just 224 this month.
Slider down, good take, and then this is the slider home run. This is going to be a miss down in the zone, I would guess. Yeah.
That's driven in the air to deep center.
What's amazing is that he can stay inside it and drive it out to left center. That's got to be 107, 109. So, I mean, there's power bats, and then there's guys like this who can inside out a ball at 109 to left center. But pretty standard mistake here by Castillo. Shohei does not let him off the hook for that. Some guys are merely, so maybe he's merely mortal now that he can't pitch or run or anything, but still whacking homers with the best of them. So that was his first home run. He gets intentionally walked his next at-bat. What was the circumstances for this?
That includes Ohtani's
just a man on second and no outs. They fall behind and they decide to walk him. Third at-bat versus Castillo. Let's see it. It's going to be a single. Ooh, generous call strike right there. Swing and miss up top, so falls behind 0-2, and then changeup RBI hit. This is another thing that's underrated about Shohei at the plate. He's got unbelievably long arms and great plate coverage. This is a little bit of a nothing swing, but it doesn't have to be an anything swing. He's trying to protect the plate and put the ball in play. And when you don't get your changeup far enough away or down, he does this little flick the hand at the thing swing. And he hit a double off me like this one time, and I've watched it over the years. He's great at this little serve swing to center. It's so nice that he has this swing in his bag. But really good execution there. Just check it out from the side. It's just a little serve it in here. I mean, fantastic. Fantastic. And then he's going to hit a double off Munoz later. This actually scored a run. 101.7 here to Shohei, because you can't be coming with any weak shit right here or he'll tie the game. Here's a slider. And he's all over that. Lasers it up the middle. That's got to be 105. Yeah, 105.3. Rushing's going to come around and score. Shohei goes all the way to third here with a triple after they drop the ball. So they had the tying run on third with no outs, and they don't come back? That makes me want to watch Munoz get real tough here, or whoever came in after that. It was Munoz. Strikeout, ground out, walk, ground out to end the game. All right, we'll watch that in a moment. We'll get into Andres Munoz in a moment. But anyway, just to recap on Shohei, I do think he's behind PCA now for the MVP. Just because he's not adding stacking any additional WAR right now as a pitcher. But anyway, the numbers are crazy. Like, if he would have been healthy, stayed healthy the whole way through, this might have been his best year overall, everything considered. He was on pace in a way with what he was doing on the mound. This is what the stats look like on the hitting. Here is the pitching. Pretty damn good on the pitching side. 179 through 14 starts, 8-2. So I know he was really going for the Cy Young. I'm a little bummed for him that he can't continue that pursuit probably, but I bet he'll be back healthy pitching by the end of the year. We'll see. We'll see. To be honest, Shohei shouldn't hit leadoff if you're not going to let him steal. Would rather he be up with dudes on base. I think they just like him as the threat leading off the game. There's something to be said for having a beast in the leadoff spot, but I'm kind of with Phil here. But I also hear what you're saying. I definitely hear what you're saying as well. But all these guys are kind of on my side too about leadoff guy getting the most appearances possible. Yeah, a bunch of people see it the same way I see it. Tucker should have scored on that one earlier. Agreed on the single. What lab did they grow him in? Yeah, it's a good question. He's incredible. All right, so also from this game, Munoz pitches out of it. He got himself in a little bit of trouble. Let's see what season he's having. Kind of a weird year with a 3.99 ERA, but he does have the 19 saves and a ton of strikeouts. Been a little bit of trafficky, but this was a big moment. Remember, the Mariners are kind of fighting hard right now, and they have not been able to lock down as many games as they want. So I'm kind of curious how Andres pitched out of this in the ninth. So we saw Rushing had been on base. So let's just recap really quick, and then we'll watch him pitch out of it. Single from Rushing on 102-3. Up the middle. Then there's the Shohei double that turns into a triple. So tying run's going to be on third here with no outs. All right, here we go. First batter up. This is a tough spot in Dodger Stadium to complete the save. First batter up, Pages, called strike, slider. Next up, fastball, 101.7. And he gets him to 0-2. Now he's going to go for the punchy. Need a punchy here. Slider. Pretty poor at-bat by Pages there. He swung at 2 balls in a row, so that's the 1 out. Here's out number 2. It's Freddie Freeman. Slider down and take. 103 here, so he really dialed up his best heater of the year for this moment. 103 fouled off. Here's a slider. And here's 101.7. It's a chopper, infield in. Oof, kind of a tough play. Shohei's not feeling as good, doesn't go for it. I wonder if he has a healthy knee if he runs home on this. I think he would have been safe if he had a healthy knee. Ends up laying back, and that gets it to the 2-out opportunity. All right, so the first guy up is Muncy. This is one of the worst guys to face in this situation because he's going to throw a great at-bat on you. And I think he does eventually walk here, but I want to watch how this happens before the walk. Slider, swing and miss, nasty pitch. Here's 102. Hair down. Here's 102 again.
The 1-1. Ball 2. One of them this season. On this 2-1.
Nasty slider right there. All right, so now we're battling. Slider again, gets a piece of that. 103, man, what a fastball Mr. Munoz had in this game. My God. Once he's staying alive.
Delivers another 2-2.
Staying alive.
Like if he'd thrown a strike, Muntz would have got him.
On the 8th pitch, Muncy takes ball.
Staying alive. And then he's going to walk him. Great at-bat by Muncy. Gives another guy an opportunity here.
He walked him.
And it is Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts.
Fastball up ball. This type of save is almost as taxing as 2 saves. That's how hard he's trying to dig deep here in this outing. 2-0.
Takes a strike.
All right, good pitch on 2-0. Pulled a dot out of his butt right there. 108. 101.8 in. Beats him to the spot. Fouls it off.
Rosarena not as good in left. 2-2.
Great take by Mookie. Sets up a 3-2, and it's going to be a challenge heater at 102-2. Perfect pitch down and away. Gets the rollover. Crawford takes care of that for the Mariners to hang on and win. I think Pages' at-bat was really poor, and that's what hurt them the most. I didn't think Freddie was a bad at-bat. I think it was a little unfortunate that Shohei was out there on third and couldn't run home on the contact play. And then I think Munoz has a happy accident with that fastball away. But boy, he dialed up some great stuff. That was really high-level, tense baseball there in the ninth. Big win for the Mariners. Why does he miss so big when he does? I mean, you see the delivery. He literally falls off the mound super hard. I mean, you can see Munoz's delivery here. He's going to have a hard time being consistent when he's so rotational and not very stable on his landing leg, which is crazy. He still throws so hard, but anytime you're going to finish, you're going to pitch like this, where you're kind of walking through your delivery and spinning on that front foot, and you're throwing so fast, you're going to have a little bit of an element of some inconsistency with your stuff. Your hand's not going to get to the same spot every time. And he does have a weird ability to somehow make a really good location in a big moment, but You're not going to be as consistent as others with that delivery. So that's the reasoning for that. All over the damn place. He really is. If Pages has a decent at-bat, they lose that. Totally agree. Totally agree. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. Love all the new people. Please come over to YouTube and throw me a subscribe. That would mean a lot. I'm trying to get to 12,000. Lot more streams to come. The best streams are in the postseason as we're headed towards there. Were you more of a closer or kind of come in guy after a starter? I did both in my career, but eighth inning was probably my main spot. Did do some closing. What's sad is in 15 years, some kid will say Ohtani wasn't that good. The new guy is way better than Ohtani. These old players have no chance in today's game. Well, the game does evolve, but Shohei, man, way ahead of his time at a minimum. I mean, I still have Barry Bonds rated crazy high, and he's, that's 30 years ago now. What did you like more, setting up or closing? I mean, closing is more glory, a little bit more of an ego boost. Setting up's harder though, so I don't know. Maybe a little more impact in winning on setting up, I'd say, over time. So Adam, who says this? It's all right in front of us. Obviously, that's Booney, my guy Booney. That's one of his lines, but it's not wrong. But I know people don't like to hear it anymore. All right, where are we at? Hour 44 in. Yordan situations. What was your best pitch for 0-2 count? Generally, my backdoor sinker to a righty or front door to a lefty. Usually that was my thing. Funniest teammates you had? Man, Tommy Canley, Jet Bandy. Funniest? I mean, Brett Gardner was pretty funny with his pranks. A lot of guys. I don't know. A lot of funny guys. All right. What else did we have? So we watched two hitters. We watched Shohei and Canzone. There was a 5-hit day from Tatis. Let's go watch Tatis a little bit. I'm curious where he's been at recently. Haven't checked in on Fernando in a while. This has been such a tough year, I think, for the Padres. They got this star quality names in their offense and stuff, but the pitching hasn't been as good this year overall in the rotation, and they haven't hit enough home runs. That power's been way down. It's 2 years in a row. But anyway, pretty crazy. If you need one of these hats, go on over to baseballandcoffee.com. I'll send it out later today if you throw in an order. Do these streams help any broadcasting? It helps the most. It keeps me so much more locked in, I feel like, than the others. So I love it, especially when we get to do my studying the day before. Yeah, Tatis. We're coming up with Tatis now. How the hell does Tommy Canley get away with throwing 80% changeups? It's that good. It's that good. Jay Crispy, come over to YouTube and subscribe. Please, you won't be disappointed. So I broadcast for Yes Network on the pre and post game show, 2 series a month. And then I do games for both NBC Sunday Night Baseball, which I'm not on the schedule for a little bit, but I'll be back. And then right now I'm in a big run of ESPN games, a lot of ESPN national games. You'll see me this week, Monday, on the game in Texas, Giants versus Rangers, and you'll see me on Wednesday, Pirates at Brewers. So that's who I broadcast for. All right, Tatis, 119 hits. That's good. 285 average. That's good. 353 on base. That's solid. 400 slugging. That's not Tatis, although it's gotten better as of late. He is up to 8 home runs and a 753 OPS. Methinks he might end up at an 800 OPS, and it'll be another really good year, albeit a little bit too little, too late. Still dominating on defense and base running. He's one of our 5-tool guys in the league. Just not enough barrels, not enough... he's got some barrels this year, but not enough actual home runs. Let's check out the game logs and how the production has started to turn around in recent times. He did put up an 865 in June OPS with a 318 average. Very nice. And then this month, he's at 839 OPS. So back-to-back good months for Tatis. And it's a 5-hit game yesterday. That brought him up to a I brought him up to a 285 average. So it's Padres and Rockies. This is going to be from Coors. This is going to be a traditional Coors Field 5-hit day. Love it. Think it might be. My Colorado Rockies. And Tatis, 5 for 5 out of the leadoff spot. Yeah, it's it's in San Diego. All right. Facing Lorenzen, California native, SoCal native. 5 for 5. Let's see it. I'll check on the backside for you, Uncle Ted. I see you.
Power very much back. And now 8 home runs.
Hey, thanks, Alexander. Appreciate it.
About his first.
All right, so 2-0 strike taken all the way there. Here comes the sweepy.
He's done now.
Fouled off. Pretty good pitch to hit there. Fouled off 2-2, and he's going to get a hit on a death ball slider. Little ground ball up the middle. Rewarded for putting the ball in play with 2 strikes. Obviously not very hard contact there. 94.7 on the ground. I always do feel like that's a little bit of a green, like a golf green though. That place plays fast on the ground, San Diego. So good coverage there. Puts the ball in play with 2 strikes. Gets rewarded for a hit. BABIP gods cooperate. Here's a hit on a first pitch sweeper, second and third. Ooh, love the approach, driving the ball to right here. 1 run's going to score. Second runner is cooked, Campusano. So this is an interesting spot. You have the open base. You have the contact hitter at the plate. You have another hitter on deck. It's only a 1-run game. Lorenzen knows he doesn't want to get an ambush on a fastball here. He actually starts with a sweeper here. But what I love about Tatis is Tatis stays head down, shoulder in, line drive to right. A single is what wins here, and that's what he delivers. Single to right. It's an RBI hit. I love the approach right here. 1 run in. They don't get 2, but a good swing there by Tatis. 104-1 to the opposite field. So stays on a breaking ball with 2 strikes. The first at-bat rolls it up the middle. Stays on a breaking ball here. First pitch lines it to right. So you're seeing the benefit of the approach he does have. It's a trade-off. He's not pull-side fly balling, but there's hits over there. All right, sinker strike, taking all the way. Change-up, swing and miss. I like right-on-right change-up to Tatis. I even tried to throw that. He's going to try it again.
This is 3rd time through, by the way.
Pulls it in. Here comes another. So 2 change-ups in a row, and then here comes a sinker. Let's see if he stays to right field or what we got here. Did not stay to right field, but he's going to benefit because he's fast, and he put the ball in play with 2 strikes. So a little bit of a lucky hit there. All right, Senzatella in a big spot. 1-run Rocky lead. Senzi's been the best pitcher on the Rockies this year, in my opinion, out of the bullpen. So this is a big spot. He's been throwing hard as hell. He's got a weird movement on his 4-seam, but he starts with sinkers here. Sinker, sinker. Here comes a cutter at 92.3 with good shape. Good take, 2-1. And now cutter in play runs. Let's see the swing. Let's see the approach. Hits it hard. Cutter down the middle. Does roll it over, but hits it hard. 108.4 off the bat. So another clutch hit. This is his 2nd single in a clutch spot. Launch angle still, obviously, still hitting the ball kind of right in the ground. All right, and then he's going to get his 5th hit here versus Vodnik. Still a 1-run game, so a lot of these were really important at-bats, leading off here in the 8th. All right, almost dies right there. He would have been safe, Ken Burns. He would have been safe. He was flying. Should we go look at the high home on that to see? All right, 3-1, gets it to 3-2. It's all fastballs, so he's just going to time him up. Man, it's going to be his 6th hit off of Vodnik. Vodnik should maybe try something other than a fastball. He's not, especially with the way he's swinging the bat, he's not fazed by velocity at all right now. So 5-hit day. Impressive day, yeah. 2 of them are kind of lucky hits, but either way, put the ball in play every time, gets rewarded. Good job there by Tatis. Let me see his swing metrics. We were talking about that before. So on the season now, he is at a 7-degree launch angle. He had been like in the really low single digits, like somewhere between 1 and 3 for a while. So it's improving, and that's where I think you've seen a few more home runs hit. But he's had such a weird year. Just a weird year for the Pods. I see this super chat. I'm going to get to you in a second, Zilla, New York. I wonder how much of it with Fernando right now is just not trying to do too much and letting the game come to him. But I think now that he has a few home runs banked in the books, at least, he's kind of letting go of his need to hunt those. But when he doesn't have to do too much, he's that good. He's really that good. Victor Vodnik should focus on his true calling of defeating James Bond. He does sound like a Bond villain. All right, let me get to this super chat. If Schlittler added a change split, how do you think it would play off the 3 fastballs? It's definitely happening. It's definitely going to be the next thing. If he can figure it, obviously you want it to be a plus version. You want it to be at least a really good version. But yes, it'll work great. Man, he's got such good distinction between all these shapes, the cutter, the 4-seam, and the sinker. I love the curveball, the way he's been throwing it as of late. I do think there's ample room for a split. If he could get something near the 0 line, right where this number 12 is right here, anything right at that 12 on the pitch plot, whether it's a kick change or a split, he can get a real feel for it and command it like he commands the others. It's only going to help him because he has everybody so sped up. But it's obviously not a factor. He might win the Cy Young without it this year. So yes, do I think he can do it? Do I think he will do it? I think it's definitely coming. This guy's been getting better and better and better. That's not going to stop. But I do think that would be a good move for him in the future. Although right now, it's not like I'd be telling him to do it right now because he's shoving. Adam, I am currently playing at elevation. I've been trying to learn a sinker. I am pretty high slot, so I have to seam shift it, but it's been a lot worse at elevation. Any tips? Yeah, you cannot try to seam shift your sinker at elevation. What you should be going for is a kill and spin rate. So if I were you, I'd be looking to get my hands off the seams a little bit to create less spin. You don't need to have crazy drop because you're at elevation. No, because you have the high arm slot. So it's all about execution, looking for a speed differential, and I would say try to create less spin to give you a little bit more drop. And that would be my first hint. But trying to seam shift it is going to be difficult at altitude. It's just going to be difficult. You're not going to get the same effects with the air. This is a question about Tatis. Do you think there's any particular reason for the power drop off with him? So I've done some speculating on this. He spent a lot of time training for DR, WBC this year. This is all totally speculation, but I think that sometimes you make an over adjustment. And I think for Tatis, he maybe got burned a little bit at times in his career being a little too home run happy, and he decided to really level out to handle the velocity and become more of an all-rounded hitter. And he became so good at making that adjustment that it ended up taking away a little bit from him going and getting some pull side balls. But I also think a lot of it was fluky. You look at his expected slug, it's still 71st percentile. We don't expect him to lead the league in home runs. So I think a lot of it was sort of fluky, and actually don't mind his swing at all. But it was tough for a while there when we were in May and he had no homers. It's just a tough place to be. He did have a sub 1 degree launch angle, so I think he's finding his medium here a little bit. I also think him and Vlad both were like working so hard on being short and on top of the ball. Maybe Pujols influence. I don't know, just speculating, and maybe they overdid it. Sometimes you overdo it. Sometimes there's a happy medium and you haven't found it yet. Do you think adding additional pitches ever hurt your others? Yes, there's no doubt about this. I think sometimes it can be tough for guys with great fastballs to add in the cutter and not mess that up. Slurve, sweeper, curve, you can get all that blended, even your slider, your cutter, all that. You can end up throwing a very, very vanilla version of pitches, especially when you're practicing something with a different level of supination than you're used to, and then you get stuck in some place, or you get comfortable and you lose your feel for one thing or another thing. So there's always a trade-off with adding pitches. That's why it's so important when you're adding pitches to have a distinct, different grip for all of them so you can keep them separated in your mind. It's not just like, oh, I throw these 2 pitches with the same grip and one I'm more supinated, one I'm not. I think that's tricky to do from a feel standpoint. So, yeah, there's a trade-off, but for the most part, modern pitchers have gotten better at not letting them blend. Can we watch the Yordan bat crack? Sure. Yordan homered last night, I'm assuming. I did see, I thought I saw something on social media of a home run. 35 home runs on the year. Best hitter in baseball. at the moment. Best hitter in baseball. He did homer last night against the Angels. He's got a 1,200 OPS this month. He's not slowing down, folks. All right, Angels and Astros. We already watched this game, but we missed this earlier. And it's Yordan, 2 for 4 with a walk. Reed Detmers found out the hard way that first pitch fastballs will not be allowed to slide. Wham. Left on left. All right, I'm just going to get started with Yordan here with a little fastball. 95.7 coming in just to be safe, and 109.1 going out. What a monster. Is the crack of the bat just crazy on this? I'm going to raise the iPad volume just for this. And I'll lower it.
It'll be an interesting week ahead here. 6 days to the trade deadline. And Yordan Alvarez, I think he hit that to the trade deadline. My goodness. That is a long home run for a very strong.
Yeah, that was nice. All right, here's from third base view of Yordan. Oh my God. Look at Ohtani ask for another ball the second it gets hit. Ball, please. Haha, the disrespect. And not just him. I think Detmers is asking for a new ball the second he throws it too. Yeah, he turns right around. Right around. That's as no doubter as it gets. So, Yordan continues to be insane. I don't even know what to say about him at this point. He's just the best hitter in the game. He's going to go after that triple crown. He's hitting 325 with 35 right now. And over 1,000 OPS. Righties, lefties, it doesn't matter. Whatever pitches you have, I will hammer them. He is basically a modern Big Papi. That's a boom shakalaka, the perfect sound. The sound off the bat sounds like an old baseball cartoon. Odds Yordan gets the triple crown. I mean, you still would bet against it, but I mean, he's right there. He's stupid. He is stupid good. You think he's MVP right now to run away with it. I haven't even thought much about the American League MVP yet, but the hitting has been just stupid. His xWOBA is climbing, which is crazy. And you know, I didn't point this out the last time we looked at this, but it's actually a huge gap. So I feel bad that I didn't expose this earlier, but look at the gap between first and second place. This is the gap between him and James Wood. 477 to 423. So what's that, 54 points in xWOBA? He's got a 54-point lead in xWOBA over the field? I don't even know what to say. He's just the best. He's the best hitter in the world, and it's not even close at the moment. What the hell is that? I mean, my God. Shit. That's incredible. 54-point lead on the field. The modern-day Ted Williams right now. Do you think he can get an MVP even if the Astros finish under 500? I don't think they've taken that as much into account as of late. It can be a tiebreaker, but yeah, he can. Just DH is rare, but Shohei did do it. He leads in all 3 Triple Crown categories right now. Yeah, PCA, we say, is the leader at the moment in the National League. So, pretty crazy. All right, Troy Melton. You want me to take a quick look at Troy Melton's page? Ryan Andrews, yep, got you. I'll do another couple minutes. Here is Troy Melton. He's been a godsend since he started pitching this year. Remember, he didn't start the year going, but a 175 in what is essentially his rookie year right now in his first 11 starts. Unbelievable. He doesn't even strike out a lot of guys, although he's been trending better in that direction. He's got great extension. This guy pounds the strike zone. Got some weird stuff. The cutter plays. .93 whip. This guy's been awesome. And this is why if you're the Tigers, you're like, man, we have another good pitcher here. You got Mize, you got Valdez, you got this dude right here, Melton. Obviously, they have Skubal. Skubal's situation's so fascinating. I think you got to trade him. I'm on the side of trading him. I think you can still maybe catch the Central. Central's so weak, you can maybe catch him without him. I just would hate to see them lose all that value. Man, I don't know. It's tough. This is why it's tough to be a front office guy at the highest level. You got some tough emotional decisions to make. But anyway, here's Melton. A lot of hard stuff. Four-seam, cutter, slider, split, sinker, curve. All the pitches are above 86.7 except for the curve, and he doesn't throw that very often. So it's a lot of hard stuff. Gets a good amount of chase. He's been an interesting pitcher for sure. He pitched in that game against Baltimore yesterday, this 14-0 game. Yeah, I mean, 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 5 Ks, walk in the park. I guess we could watch his walk in the park game here. We've been watching him a lot, so we'll check him out. Here's the mix. 31 heaters, 23 cutters, 13 splits, 10 sliders, 9 curves, 6 sinkers. 26% whiff, 67% first pitch strike. He does a great job with that. He's got the little short arm deception in his delivery as well. So this is Baltimore and Detroit. Detroit needed this win. They had lost 3 in a row coming into this game. We're just going to watch result pitches because I'm getting tired here. Yeah, we're looking at it right now. We'll just watch the results, see what he got people out with. All right, first batter of the game, Beavers. It's a cutter in a hittable location. Don't love that location. Gives it a little bit of a ride, but good luck hitting out to center in Detroit. Oh, welcome back, Javi Baez. 101.6. I do say that I like his cutter mainly because of his extreme velocity on it. To me, you know how I feel about cutters, but this is one of my things. If you throw over 92 with your cutter, I can live with it. So gets away with it there. 1 out. Second batter of the game is Pete. 3-1 slider walk. So there's the 1 walk. He walks Pete. Didn't want to give in there. Interesting. 0-2 to Gunner. He's going to strike him out with a slider. Perfect location with that. You're always playing a dangerous game going down into the lefty with a slider. If you get it here, you get miss. If you get it in the zone, you get pulled double in the corner, run scores. So playing with fire, but executes great here. Really good slider. Strikeout of Gunner. Then he'll finish the first with a slider to Ward. Off the plate away, off the end of the bat, popped up. Nice play. Nice play, nice play, nice pitch, nice pitch. Second inning. Cutter coming here, 92.6 to Tavares. That's kind of right down the middle, but gets him on top of that. Easy play. Here's a hit. Jackson Holiday doing his usual step in the bucket, hit the ball to the middle of the field or the other way. Base hit. Here's a called strike 3 on a fastball. Ooh, dots it up. Now I want you to watch something with Melton's arm action. And I think this adds to his success a little bit with in addition to his execution, his extension. Check out the right hand. He shows you it a little bit here, but then he hides it right behind his head. It's right behind the head here. And I think there's a moment here where you can't see it at all. And then it just explodes right to the corner. This actually might be worth checking something out really quick on here if I can. Wow, we already have a game in progress. Phillies and Marlins. Let me see if I can show you this view because he's an interesting guy to look at. I'll try to find that same pitch. We want this one, this view. Now, it's subtle, but you can see it from this angle. Like, where's the hand? It's behind the head. Look, the hand is right behind the head. Can't see the ball. Hard to tell here, obviously, because it's not the perfect angle, but check it out. Hand behind head, can't see shit. Now you see the ball. So that part of deception's a big thing. How long you hide the ball. You hear broadcasters talk about it, but there's an example of that you can't really see it that good. All right, anyway, back to the game as that was that pitch right there, but we don't have that angle on the dugout app. We only have that on the research tool. All right, so that's a paint, and then he's going to go split here to get Kowser out. Really good execution on the split. The splitter has been a good pitch for him and actually might be a plus pitch. That's negative vert. We already know how his fastball plays. This could take him to a higher level if he can execute like this with that split. Great pitch there. And that's it for the second. Third inning.
We were just talking earlier.
You can talk at normal level down here.
Leadoff hit from Pozo, former Cardinal, but now he's pitching with a 5-run lead, so look for him to just pound the zone. Oh, Kevin Brown, my guy. 3-1 cutter middle to Beavers. Line out to McKinstry. And here's a first pitch cutter out to Pete. It's going to be a double play ball. I love the cutter down and away to the righty first pitch. Pete dives, pulls, double play. Melton's good at getting double plays too. All right, 4th inning. Henderson's going to get out with a cutter away. Good swing. Right at Riley, so a little bit fortunate there. Here's a called strike 3 to Ward again.
You finish your pizza over there?
I finished the pizza.
Accidental down and away paint again. And then a curveball out. All right. Not a great curveball there. Gets the pop-up, though. A lot of good counts this inning. Good 4th inning. 5th inning. 97 away to Jackson. Impossible play here. He's too fast. So he's 2 for 2. Leadoff hit here. Swinging strikeout to Mayo. Really good slider there. Late drop, late break. Let me watch that one again. This is a nice pitch. Yeah, Mayo's trying to pull everything. Can't stay on that. All right, man on first, 1 out. Here's Cowser. Slider. Another perfect location. He executed the hell out of that slider today. He is pitching with an 8-run lead here, but look at that execution down in. Freaking beautiful, man. This kid can really pitch. He can really, really pitch. All right, 2 outs. Pozo. Cutter down and away. Gets that reach. That's what you're looking for right on right with a cutter, is get that reach and have them try to pull an outside pitch. All right, he's through 5. 6th inning.
Drive through there a lot.
Cutter down in. Not as good of a location there, but he does get the out. Cutter again to Pete. Let's see if he gets it down and away. Ooh, good pitch to hit, but again, you get a little more protection with the faster cutter. So, a little fortunate there. 2 outs. There's my guy. And then splitter to Gunner. Great pitch there. He's throwing some dandy splitters. 2 dandy splitters for outs recently. 7th inning. As that's another thing with Melton. He's been able to go deep. He's been very pitch efficient in his starts. Taylor Ward just misses this. Good ballpark to pitch in. Here's a walk, so maybe getting a little tired here to Taveras. And this is going to be his last batter. It's a curveball. It's Jackson Holiday. And are they going to get 2 here? Glaber 1 on the first, double play. This was a good pitch choice in my opinion. So Jackson had gotten hits on hard stuff twice to the opposite field. So maybe that means they're thinking, okay, he's in the bucket. He's way early. Slow him down even more with a curveball and he loses his legs. If he locates this down and away, it's probably weaker contact and probably a better executed pitch. But this worked into his favor because this is a hard grounder at first. And Glaber starts the double play. So another great outing, another pitch-efficient outing for Melton. Man, what a find for the Tigers. What a ridiculously good rookie year for Troy Melton, especially one that started a little bit late. But he's been great. Check out the game logs. I mean, look at the consistency of this season. 5 2/3 1, 7 1, 8 2, 5 4. That's his worst start. Then 6 1, 6 1, 6 1/3 and 0, 5 1/3 and 0, 5 2/3 and 1, 5 2, and 7 0. How about that? How about that for consistency? So he's not pitching like a rookie. He's pitching better than a rookie. There's a number of guys around the league right now that are pitching better than, smarter than rookies. Him and Jake Bennett, I would definitely put on that list, but impressive. Can Detroit get in it? I don't know. I don't know. So they're playing Baltimore, I guess, throughout the next couple days. Detroit, Baltimore today. Who do they have coming up end of the week? They have no game tomorrow, and then they have a big series coming up right after that into the deadline. Detroit's going to play the A's. If they can run the table up to the deadline, they might make some brash decisions here. It'll be interesting to see. Could be Scooble's last start as a Tiger today. Can they run the table into the ending of into the trade deadline? That'll be interesting to see. Do you think Melton could be becoming the Tigers' ace in the coming years? I mean, he's off to a great start with it. I wouldn't rule it out. So I'd say yeah. But we'll see. Consistency is the name of the game. You know, I don't like to label many aces too early, but he's been awfully He's been awfully consistent. Awfully consistent. If you could get savant data for historical pitch, what would it be? Oh, it's definitely, I mean, all the famous pitches. Mariano's cutter, Randy Johnson fastball and slider, Nolan fastball curveball, Seaver fastball, Koufax curveball, Pedro changeup, Clemens splitty and fastball, all those types of pitches. J.R. Richards heater, John Smoltz. There's a lot of good ones. We have Chris Sale's slider. We have some info on that. All this parity makes it a huge seller's market. Some big prospect names might be moving. See, that's the thing. I think this is a big time seller's market. So somebody's going to take advantage of it, and they might piss their fans off in the process. All right, guys. I think we're gonna call it. It's 12:11 over here. It's been a good stream. Pretty sure we're not going to stream tomorrow. If I do, I'm changing the time for sure, because I got some errands I have to run during the day. But there'll definitely be a stream on Friday, and then we'll pick it back up after that. But I'll keep you guys posted. If you see an upcoming for tomorrow, keep an eye out for that. If not, I'll definitely see you on Friday. All right, here's probable pitchers for today's baseball games. One game already started. Phillies, Marlins. Luzardo, Gusto is the matchup there. Diamondbacks, Pirates coming in hot. Erod, Jared Jones. That's a fun one. Jays, Nats. Savage, who hasn't pitched great lately, in my opinion. And Littell. Orioles, Tigers, Rogers, and Skubal. We just mentioned this could be his last game as a Tiger. Braves, Mets, doubleheader. AJ Smith-Shawver, and I think welcome back, right? And then Sean Manaea. And then the other game is going to be Chris Sale, Christian Scott. Kind of like that matchup. Two dogs. Brewers, Giants, Drowan, and Webb. Will Logan Webb get traded? They say no. Rockies, Padres, Gabriel Hughes, and TBA. Rangers, Rays, Mackenzie Gore. Will he get traded? KC Legumina. Guardians, Reds, Cantillo, and Brady Singer. Royals, Twins, Randy Dobnak, the Uber driver's back, facing his old team. Joe Ryan. Will Joe Ryan get traded? They're saying they're buying, so probably not. Yankees, White Sox, Schlittler, Davis Martin. So this is the best two pitchers of each of these teams. Can Cam keep it up? I say yes. Cubs, Cardinals. Cubs looking to wipe out the Cardinals. Matthew Boyd and Dustin May. This is probably Dustin May's last start with the Cardinals. Astros, Angels, Wesneski, and Grayson Rodriguez. Red Sox, A's, Patrick Sandoval, Jacob Lopez from Sacramento. But probably watching that late night tonight to hear Monaco talk. And then our final game of the night, Mariners, Dodgers. Emerson Hancock, could he be on the move? And Eric Lauer for the Dodgers. So we'll see. We're getting spicy. Trade deadline shows are coming up at the beginning of this next week. And I will see you guys either tomorrow, maybe TBA on that, or definitely Friday. So appreciate you guys for hanging with me again. Thanks to everybody in the Grounds crew. Please come over and subscribe, like and subscribe on YouTube. Trying to get to 12,000 subs. Appreciate everybody on every platform, though. And this has been fun week. Good stream. You guys are awesome. And I will see you guys on the flip side. Thanks for hanging. Bye-bye.